everyone, it's Becky here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to new video. I am very excited today, my friends. First of all is because I just came back from gym very recently. I had my morning coffee and I also ate some chocolate, which is a very dangerous combination because I get very hyper from these three things, and when you combine it with talking about books, which is something I love, oh boy, run! But my friends, today I want to talk about two books which are quite on the opposite spectrum from one another, you could say, and those are these two. So one is a Bible study and one is a murder mystery. Yes, I know, but that's who I am. So if you are new here, welcome. This is what we do here. And I will try to calm down a little bit. I will, and not to speak very fast because I have a tendency to speak super fast when I'm super excited, so I will calm down. But the reason why I'm so excited, and also maybe you are asking why am I already doing sort of like a little wrap-up video with only two books when it's not the end of the May yet. Well, the reason is that I am now having a little bit of silent bookish time, as I like to call it, because it's not necessarily a reading slump. I do not have a problem to read books, or it's not that I would not feel like reading. It's just that I have been prioritizing some other hobbies while actually trying to manage life and keep up with life and work and relationships and everything. But I've been very much enjoying painting again recently. I am far away from being anything from a painter, but it's just something I really enjoy, whether it's painting by numbers or doing coloring books to do some abstract paintings on my canvases. So I very much enjoy doing that, and also doing some sports and be more outside because of course the weather is gorgeous where we are here right now. So I hope that you are having a good weather too and you are already having approaching summer. And I feel I'm still talking too fast. Anyway, my friends, I would love to know if you would write me in the comments what are your other hobbies besides reading books. I am a type of person who enjoy doing sports despite not being good at it. For example, recently we tried squash with my boyfriend for the first time together, and I play squash I think 4 or 5 times when I was living in Scotland, and now it's been a while since I did it, and we went for the first time last week actually. So things like squash or bowling or mini golf, I really like doing them, but I never win any game in those. Like same with the squash, I lost all 5 sets we were playing. Same with bowling, I always lose no matter who I'm playing with. So I just enjoy going to gym because yeah, there is obvious progress and I cannot really lose with anyone. So anyway, my friends, that's enough. I want to speak about the books, but please let me know in the comments what are your other hobbies or what are the things you enjoy doing besides reading books or talking about books or something else rather than books. And of course you can also mention what book are you currently reading, because that's what this channel is about and I love talking about books. So welcome again, and let's just straight into the books. So my friends, the first one I'm gonna be talking about is The Murder at the Hotel Orient by Alessandra Ranelli, and this was an absolutely incredible, crazy experience, let me tell you, because to be honest with you, and if you... Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better, but then when the sun shows up again I'm gonna be completely yellow. Anyway, my friends, so as I said, this was absolutely crazy experience because I do normally not read this type of books. If you've been here for a while, you know that murder mysteries and these type of books are not really my cup of tea. However, I have been following this one lady on Instagram. Her name is Nicole. Hello. And we've been following actually each other for, I think it's been over a year now, and she is an American who lives in Austria as well, and we just happened to follow each other even before I actually moved here, and we never really met in person, only interacted through a bookstagram couple times. And one day she approached me and she messaged me and she said that her book club is actually reading this book, and then they are meeting author at the book club event and whether I would be interested to join. And I was like, I don't necessarily read these type of books, as I said, but I thought, okay, I'll give it a go because obviously book club, that would be incredible. And let me tell you, wow, that was so much fun, and that was nothing like I could imagine it. First of all, to introduce you to the book, which also will give you a little bit of context for why am I so excited. basically Murder at the Hotel Orient. It's a book which is set in contemporary Vienna, but everything happens in the hotel. And for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know until literally I got my hands on this book, the Hotel Orient is actually the actual hotel here in Vienna. And it used to be, or from my knowledge, it used to be a love hotel, or how one would call it. You know what I mean. So it used to be a love hotel, and then when I was invited, Nicole said that we are gonna be meeting with the author and it's gonna be at the Hotel Orient itself, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what this place is about. And then we googled it with my boyfriend, and he said, well, but it's still a thing, like it still is a love hotel in Vienna. It's not that it used to be, it still is. And I was like, okay. So then when you imagine, I'm gonna meet people I never met, which is a group of hopefully only women, organized by one woman I never met in my life, which gonna be in some sort of love hotel I haven't heard about like ever before, which has soundproof walls, and it's gonna be about murders and mysteries. I was like, okay, hopefully I'm not gonna die. So yeah, that was kind of fun to start with. But then, of course, everything was fine, everything was legit. Okay, now it's too bright again. Okie doke, we are back. So basically, to come back to the book, the Hotel Orient is an actual place here in Vienna, and it's also where the book is set. So whilst the story is actually set in contemporary Vienna in around 2020 something, this hotel in real life and in book as well, it's sort of like frozen in time, and it comes from 1850s or something like that. And also the interior of the hotel looks like it's been frozen in time, because it has all these absolutely wonderful grandiose rooms, which looks a little bit like at castles or something like that, and every room is supposed to be different. I haven't seen all the rooms, but one has this sort of like Arabian Nights theme. One is a little bit like some castle in Austria from Sissi times. So very, very interesting. And basically the whole murder happens in this hotel, and then we meet our main character, Sterling, who is concierge in this hotel, and obviously she somehow happens to be involved in this whole event, and then she ends up to helping solve the mystery of what is actually happening with detectives. And I love this book. I love it so much because whilst, as I said, it's set in contemporary Vienna, it gives you this vibe of old Agatha Christie or Poirot novels or TV shows, this old vintage mystery film noir vibe. And it's also very cinematic, like you can imagine it on the screen as well, so I'm hoping that's gonna happen at some point. I absolutely love this. And also regarding the whole event, it actually came to me later after we went there, when I realized like how precious it was, because normally you cannot really get into that hotel unless you know, book a spot there with someone you love very much, and unless you go there you cannot really get there, and you're not allowed to take pictures normally, and there are huge fees in case you publish the pictures. But for this event only, we were allowed to go there and photograph and make videos and also publish them. So this is all I'm showing you all this legally. And the reason why I really like this as well was because since this hotel is so special in a way, and it follows very strict set sort of like rules, which are also described in the book, it very much gave me John Wick vibes. And if you know this film franchise, I absolutely love it, which is also a little discussion in the comments if you dare. Because for me, whilst I love James Bond and it's the whole universe itself, to be honest with you, James Bond and John Wick, yeah, I don't know, for me John Wick wins. So I love John Wick, and for this reason, because I also love this vibe in the book where you have the hotel which it set rules and it's sort of like the universe of its own, and you have this secret society, and you have this coin which is passed between people and everyone knows what it means, those who are involved. It's great. Honestly, it's great, and still you can see how excited I am. And it's one of those books which, despite me not very much reading this type of genre, I know I'm just gonna reread the book. And it was so funny because actually one woman at the book club, she pointed that she finished the book and then started again the next day, and I could absolutely relate, because I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do that too eventually. because I just enjoyed reading it so much. So I then actually ended up going to the book club, and I met lovely Nicole, whom we've been only seeing through online media. And that's again one of those things why I'm very grateful for social media, because those are one of those very rare positive experiences you can have. So we met in person finally, and we are planning to grab some more coffees at some point. And I was a part of this book club, and I met the author Alessandra, who is this absolutely talented, brilliant and funny person, and she signed the book, and she was talking about the history of Hotel, about her writing process, and it was incredible, and I was so happy. And I highly recommend you to read this book if you like the crime novels, mysteries, thrillers, especially if you like, as I said, this like vintage Agatha Christie Poirot vibe. It's stunning, it's funny, it's slutty. You're gonna love it. I love that. I'm so excited. So this is definitely a book of a month for me, like 5 out of 5. And now, my friends, on the other side of my reading scale is this book which I read, called No More Boring Bible Study by Womack. And this is a book which I wanted to read for quite a while, because honestly I cannot believe I'm talking about these two books in one video. That's actually quite funny, because I like doing my... This is actually so funny. Yeah, I've been in Hotel Orient and reading about murder mystery, but I'm gonna follow with the sentence that I love to do my morning Bible studies, which I really do. Anyway, my friends, I hope you are enjoying this video, because I'm having a blast. Anyway, yes, I like to do my morning Bible studies, and I wanted to read this book for quite a while. Faith is someone who also has her own YouTube channel, which I will link down below if you would be interested. To be honest with you, I saw a couple of videos, but it's not something I do watch regularly. However, I wanted to give this book a go because, as I said, I enjoy recently diving a little bit more into the scripture, and I thought that this might be a good way for me to start as well and have like a little bit different approach. And I must say, in general, this book I would recommend it to people who are having the same intentions, so to like better understand the Bible or find meanings in the books, which might sound on the first read a little bit confusing, because we all know that there are such books there which are a little bit confusing, but this sort of like gives you the guide of how to look at the Bible as one entire story rather than separated books, and how to approach certain books in the Bible as well, and a little bit of overview of every book in the Bible as well. So highly recommend. The one only issue I will say that I had with this book, and which is also the reason why I not necessarily watch the videos, and this is just a personal thing, so still recommend go and check it out if this is the field you're interested in. To me, some of the things she said or wrote came a little bit too strong, and I don't want to use the word dogmatic, but that's the one which sort of like been coming to me as I was reading the book, that whilst I'm absolutely do not diminishing her wisdom and her experience, and I found there many things which I consider to be useful, and obviously she has a lot of years of experience and she really knows what she is talking about, sometimes I just felt that the way she is presenting some of her approaches or the way she is doing things are supposed to be the only right things to do things, if you know what I mean. And that's something which I was like, well, I get you and I understand, and I also agree on so many things with you, but I kind of look at it from a little bit like distant, and not taking everything that's the only way how to do things, if that makes sense. But other than that, I still think it's a great resource if you are maybe a beginner who never read the Bible before. You can read it, and also if you're someone like me who I'm absolutely not professional, like I've been reading Bible consistently for quite a while now, but as Faith mentioned herself in the book, that basically you are never done with reading it, and there is always going to be more to study and more to learn and more to discover, and I am just at the very, very beginning of the journey, but still I do have some sort of experience with like opening the Bible and reading it. I still found this very, very useful, so recommend as well. But yeah, I cannot compare these two books because it's uncomparable, like it's something completely different. But from the fiction point of view, which I read this month, is this one winning, and from non-fiction, this one is winning. Let's put it this way. And I haven't read any other books really this month. My reading update on Brothers Karamazov, which I have somewhere here. From the last video, I read approximately 2 pages, and that's been almost 3 weeks by now. So yes, that's how it's going. But still, I will finish it eventually. I'm sure I will finish it this year. I still have 6 months to go, so I'm sure it will be fine. My friends, I think I will end the video here because I just feel very funny today. And I know not everyone finds me funny, so so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have party on my own, and hopefully this video brought you a little bit of joy and also encouragement to read certain books. Please let me know what are you currently reading, if you read any of these books, if you would like to read any of these books, and share some of your hobbies in the comments. I would love to know, and I will see you with another video very soon. Take care, bye bye!